Hello, it is Storytime with Uncle Scotty. Today is a very exciting day, but first, as you may or may not know, I am Uncle Scotty, your host for Storytime with Uncle Scotty. We have our own mugs, and our own shadows, and our own shadow mugs. So many mugs, so many shadows. 2 mugs, 1 shadow. But thank you for sharing your time with us and being here as we continue reading Ways to Make Sunshine by Renee Watson, a Coretta Scott King award-winning author who also was honored by the Newbery Honor for her other works and her other books, and maybe we'll check out some of those in the future. But right now we've been reading Ways to Make Sunshine, and I just realized today is the final chapter, final countdown. That's the final chapter of Ways to Make Sunshine. Yesterday, we found out that Kiki, who's good at everything, was the MC of the talent show. And Kiki was sick. And so Ray got to school and volunteered to be the MC of the talent show. And if you remember, she tried to give her speech at Easter, and it always ended up being bad and was messy, and she was upset about it, and she wasn't confident about being on stage and speaking in front of people. And now she stepped up, trying to embrace her name, which means leader, and volunteered to be the MC of the talent show in front of hundreds and hundreds of people who are watching. The MC is the host. She's through the whole thing. She doesn't just come out and sing for 3 minutes and then disappear. She's there the entire time. And Miss Barnes had called her dad, who showed up even though he's going to be sleeping, and Ray to come watch and support. And we're going to find out how it went now in our last chapter of Ways to Make Sunshine. Shall we do it? Chapter 23. Another thing about ice cream. Mom picks us up after school, and we go to Helen Bernard Bakery on Broadway to pick up a cake. I wonder if we can find a picture. That feels like a real place. Helen Bernard Bakery on Broadway to pick up a cake. The whole way there, Dad and Ray tell Mom how good I was, how I didn't mess up not once. I'm so proud of you, Ryan. I am really, really proud, Mom says. After we get the cake, we stop at Safeway, grocery store, and get ice cream. I think maybe Mom is celebrating how well I did, how much I'm growing into my name. But when we get home, I realize that this cake and ice cream celebration has nothing to do with me stepping in for Kiki. And just when I thought my favorite dessert couldn't be ruined anymore, I learned that Mom and Dad have many, many ways of messing up a good day and a favorite treat. So the first time they gave Ray and Ryan ice cream after school when they were telling them that they were moving. And so now Ryan thinks that they're getting ice cream again because of some other news, some other bad news. Mom uncovers a cake that looks like it's been painted with pink icing. The cake is decorated with the prettiest white roses. In the middle, there's a math equation in white icing. 2 + 1 = 3. I read it out loud twice before I understand what's happening. The pink icing, the number 3, the way Mom is holding her belly. And Dad says, "Our family is growing." And Mom adds, "You two are getting a little sister." Her whole face is a shining sun. Ray says, "Another one? Really? Why can't it be a brother?" "Because God blessed us with another girl," Dad says. He cuts the cake and dishes out ice cream. Sort of like they had a little gender reveal party at their house. Well, I guess it wasn't really a reveal, but the pink ice cream, the news that they're having a new baby. The only thing worse than having ice cream when learning that you are moving is having it when you learn that you are going to be a big sister. Ray shrugs and starts eating his dessert. There will be 5 of this in this new, old house that I am just starting to get comfortable in. This is not something to celebrate. Not only is this little baby ruining ice cream and cake, she's also doing it on the last day of school, on the day that I grew into my name and pushed through my fear to speak in front of my classmates, plus all the special guests. All day long, I've been so excited to start summer vacation. All day long, I've been thinking about how I am no longer a 4th grader. But Mom hasn't even mentioned that I am officially in the 5th grade. She hasn't even said anything about our last day of school tradition of going to the public library. What if Mom will be too tired or too busy getting ready for the baby this summer? Will I get to do anything we normally do? Mom hasn't said anything about going to Oaks Amusement Park, or when we'll go to Seaside Beach, or what we'll do on the 4th of July. All she's talking about is baby this and baby that. Ray doesn't seem bothered at all by this baby news. Alliteration. Ray doesn't seem bothered at all by this baby news. Between mouthfuls of cake and ice cream, he says, "Mom, there's really a baby growing inside you?" He stares at Mom's belly. "Yes, there is." Mom rubs her stomach, stands, and turns to the side, pinching her shirt tight to her body. Her stomach is poking out, just a little. "She's right here," Mom says. "Soon you'll be able to notice without having to look too hard." Mom sits back down and eats a bite of her cake. "Ray, do you remember when I was pregnant with Ryan?" Ray shrugs and says, "Not really." He licks the frosting off his fork. "This just proves to me that this baby is nothing but trouble. She's going to be remembered and I'm not." I shrug my shoulders just like he did and tell him, "Well, I don't remember you growing in Mom's belly either, so there." "How could you? I'm older, duh." The way he says, "duh," dragging it out like an accordion, makes me even more upset. We weren't allowed to say duh when I was a kid. My dad was like, "No duhs, you're not allowed to say that." Ray gets up and puts his plate in the sink. When Ray comes back to the table, Dad cuts another slice of cake for himself. "Do either of you have questions for us?" he asks. Ray asks a very important question, one I haven't thought of. "Where's the baby gonna sleep?" "Well," Dad says, "the baby will sleep in a crib that will be in our room for the first few months." He gets up from the table, walks over to the refrigerator, and pours himself a glass of milk. Mom adds, "Once she's old enough to sleep in her own bed, she'll share the room with Ryan." Me? So far, this little sister that everyone is so happy about has ruined my favorite dessert and will take my bedroom. There is definitely nothing to celebrate here. I ask, "Where will she sit in the car?" Mom looks puzzled, like she hadn't thought about that yet. And then she says, "In the back with you and Ray. We'll put her car seat on the passenger side of our best friend's ride. You will sit in the middle, and Ray will sit next to you." "I won't be able to look out the window anymore?" I ask. "Once the baby is here, I'll be smushed between my big brother and my little sister because 2 + 1 = 3, and that puts me in the middle. How will I see the license plate that we drive as we drive through the city? Maybe this little baby sister is here to make Mom forget about all the things that are important to me." Dad nudges me, says, "Ryan, you haven't eaten any of your cake." Mom looks at me with care in her eyes and reaches out for my hand. "Sweetheart, things will change, but you know what will never change?" "What?" I ask. "Our love for you." I think about the story my little sister will be told about the day her big sister found out about her being in her mama's belly. I don't want her to know I refused to eat the cake and ice cream, that I complained about all the things that wouldn't be the same. I think to myself how often that would be, how often that would feel to know how her big sister was so upset. That would be worse than a sibling saying they didn't remember you were born, which is what Ray said about Ryan. Ray and Dad leave the table. Everyone outside is cheering. Maybe you can hear that. At 8 o'clock here in Los Angeles, everybody cheers for everybody responding to the pandemic. It's kind of fun. It's like a little celebration every night. Ray and Dad leave the table. Mom stays with me. She slides my plate in the middle of the two of us. The ice cream runs rivers around the cake. She cuts the cake in half, slides my fork closer to me, and we start eating. The cake tastes so good, like all chocolate cake does. So I'm glad I didn't waste it. I eat the last bite, set my fork on the plate. And here we can see the main cake plate with some pink roses, it looks like, and then Ryan's little ice cream, crumbs and ice cream cake plate. I wonder if my little sister will like chocolate cake and chocolate ice cream. I wonder if she'll have adventurous taste buds, and if she'll like playing chef with me and be the taste tester for all the concoctions I cook up. Will she like having make-believe parades? Will she know how to make the sun shine, even on the rainiest of days? I wonder what we will call her, and how long it will take her to grow into her name. I wonder if we will take a family vote. I wonder if when we take a family vote, she'll side with me and Mom. I do more math equations in my head. 2 + 1 = 3. One brother plus 2 sisters equals more girls. One dad plus 1 brother plus 1 mom plus 2 sisters equals more girls. I am starting to think that the equation written in icing was good news after all. I say to Mom, "There will be 3 of us girls in the house now." "Yes, there will be," she says. She takes our dishes to the sink. "Us girls outnumber the boys." She winks at me and smiles. I think maybe things will get better and better from here. And there's some sunshine. And that's the end of our book. That's the end of Ways to Make Sunshine. Ryan's going to have a little sister. And she has the whole summer in Northeast Portland. And she's going to figure out what she's going to do. And she's going to go to Seaside and Oaks Amusement Park and OMC and other places and do something for the 4th of July with Amanda and Kiki and Zoe. And really, she really lived up to her name, becoming a leader, not only for her little sister who's on the way, but also being an MC of the talent show. And that was really nice. There's a little acknowledgments page. Maybe we should just read it, because it might be nice to learn a little bit more about Renee Watson, our author. Acknowledgments. The best part of writing this novel was the remembering, the going back to the places in Portland that raised me. Vernon Elementary School, Alberta Park, Antioch Missionary Baptist Church. So many of these tales were inspired by real memories from my childhood, as well as the experiences I've shared in helping to raise my nieces, nephews, and goddaughter. Nieces and nephews, that's you, because I'm Uncle Scotty. We have our monks. Sydney, Tobias, Caleb, Nehemiah, and Ryan, I love watching you grow and learn and soar. You bring such light into my life. Thank you to Corey Johnson and Helen Hagen for being early readers and for your invaluable feedback during the writing process. And always, always, thank you to my agent, Rosemary Stimola, and my editor, Sarah Shumway. That's very nice. And that's the end of our story. That's the end of our book. Thank you so much for tuning in for another book with Storytime with Uncle Scotty. I can't wait to see what we're going to read tomorrow. Another book, another story, more story time. And I will see you then. Until then, bye.